thank you, Jonathan. What a terrific crowd. I'm not surprised at all with the turnout. This is the reason the rail trail is finally happening. I just want to thank a number of people, but first I just want to say, and sort of echo what Secretary Pollock said, is that this is a project that will connect communities. I think it's important to realize where we are now in Massachusetts is that people, when they talk about transportation and what they want to see in transportation for Massachusetts, it's not just about improving our roads and bridges, but it's also about improving our public transportation and better connecting people, including pedestrian access and bicycle access like the Bruce Freeman Rail Trail. And it's important to remember that eventually this rail trail will connect to the Concord train station, just like the Assabet River Rail Trail in the southern part of Acton will connect to the South Acton train station. And I just can't thank Secretary Pollock enough for coming out today, because I think it speaks to the fact of the commitment of the Baker administration to that vision of connecting different modes of transportation. And of course, making sure that when we're talking about transportation, it's modes of transportation that makes everyone healthier, that improves their quality of life. And we know that communities that have rail trails, they're heavily used. You look at the Minuteman Rail Trail in the Lexington area, it's hard to find a place to bike on the rail trail. It's so used. So the idea of bringing out that extension of rail trails to sort of Metro West is so critical. Secretary Pollock is one of the experts on this idea of connecting communities through transportation. So I think it's a tremendously important thing that she is the Secretary of Transportation under Governor Baker. And I really do have to commend Governor Baker on the quality of his appointees, and I think that's part of why we're here today. There are so many people to thank, and I do want to acknowledge Bruce and Daphne Freeman for being here, and of course, if not for former Representative Freeman's vision on this, we would not be here, so I'd like to give a round of applause. Jonathan, in his introduction, noted that I was first elected in 2002, and so therefore I've been through 3 administrations advocating often on a weekly basis for this rail trail. And I did want to recognize the work of our previous Transportation Secretary, Secretary Davey, and then going back to the Romney administration, I'm so glad she's here, former Highway Commissioner Louise Krewanski, so thank you for being here. I remember you coming out to Acton in 2003 to talk about this project, so I really appreciate you being here. And also administrators like Bernie LaPlante. So Bernie, thank you very much for being here as well. On the legislative level, I do want to acknowledge, and I had hoped that she would be here. I think she's going to be, she's away, but my predecessor and former state senator Pam Rezor, so she did a tremendous amount of advocacy. And one of the things that Pam had taught me about the persistence of advocating for transportation dollars and other state dollars is the need to show up. And one of the first things that she taught me when I was first elected as a state representative, serving with her during her time as a senator, is showing up at those 7:30 a.m. MPO meetings in the Transportation Building. I think it were Thursday mornings, and showing up and just having a presence there was so critical. And the work that she did, I think, led to this day as well as former Representative Jeff Hall, who I know is here and helped to advocate for the phase to Westford. Of course, at those 7:30 a.m. transportation meetings were so many people with the Bruce Freeman Rail Trail hats. And I just want to say that as much as elected officials are there to speak on behalf of the constituents, at the end of the day, the reality is if a community or a group of citizens is really serious about seeing through in a vision, it really is about a group of citizens showing up. And I remember every one of those early morning meetings in Boston, or when the MPO came out for a hearing, people like Tom Michelman and Dick Williamson showing up at every one of those meetings, and so many people here in this room, obviously many of them wearing the yellow shirts or yellow hats representing the rail trail. But I just can't thank them enough, because without that persistence, I'm not sure when this day would have come. So I just want to thank everybody who's involved. I do want to also put in some kind words for Roland Bartle, our town planner. Roland, is Roland here?
No,
he's away, okay. Roland and I talked about this on almost a monthly basis, and putting in the planning details and working on some of the details about how rail trail is aligned is so critical. So I want to thank him, Town Manager Steve Ledoux, the Acton Board of Selectmen, and every single staff person in Acton Town Hall for seeing through this vision on Phase 2A. Obviously, as I think most people know, this will now connect the Bruce Freeman Rail Trail from Westford through Carlisle, Acton, and just north of Concord, right at the north of Route 2, in expectation of the next phase. But this is going to bring an improved quality of life, opportunity for more exercise, and just a better ability to enjoy what makes Acton so beautiful by constructing this rail trail. So I want to thank everyone involved, and it's been a real honor to work on the project. Thank you very much.